Welcome to another conversation with Chris. I'm going to say client, but seriously, good friend, Amal, with me today. I'm so thrilled, and I've known you for years. So I'm actually really excited to share this conversation. What if we start with who you are and where you are in the world?
So I'm a dean of a college here in Qatar. I'm an academic, I'm a scholar, but also I'm a feminist. I have a cause and I'm an advocate of women's rights and gender equality with women all around the world. But when I started as a client 4 years ago, I remember I had existential questions about who I am, question about my role in life and my professional career. Also, I don't know if this is for me because we are made to believe that there's a divide between personal and professional. When I have an issue in leadership and management, they always recommend one of those big professional development workshops. I remember a very dear friend of mine from Kuwait. This friend told me, no, just don't believe in that. Just speak to Chris. She's going to look at it holistically. Don't believe in that divide between the personal and professional. It's you, after all, in the middle of that.
Correct. You are the constant. So we have to look at you.
We never believed that we, as individuals, women, had the right to work on ourselves to better our communities.
Yeah, it's not actively encouraged. I mean, I do live in an existence now where I'm constantly actively encouraging it. No matter where I look in the world, it's not really encouraged.
And I'm very grateful that I had this support through you.
So let's have a chat about what you've actually done with me. We started with Unlock Your Power for you. Do you want to just briefly share what that little experience was for you? I say little, it took a year.
I've done many programs with you. I'm very happy that we started with Unlock Your Power. So I remember how hesitant I was to commit to a program for a year. It's not only learning skills, and it didn't only speak to my brain. It spoke to my soul. It spoke to me as a whole. And what I thought was a very long program turned to be not enough, because then we've done more.
Unlock Your Power, I think, cleans out the current house that you're living in. It's like, right, now we can start and make really deliberate, conscious growth.
So yes, I took the Unlock Your Power and it took us a year, but because I entered the program not knowing exactly what I wanted. And I think that was the perfect stepping stone in my journey with you. You had the patience.
Always have patience.
And I remember I would talk to you for hours and hours telling you, but this area in my life is not complete. I'm confused within this area. And you made sense of all of those components because, again, we are made to think of ourselves as functions rather than one holistic being.
Yes, like we have to put a mask on to be the parent, or we have to put the mask on to be the professional, whoever, be the friend or the partner. We forget that really we're bringing us to every single one of those situations. And if we continue to put the mask on, we're not going to have the wins. We're not going to feel completely comfortable. We're not going to gel. Something's going to be sort of off. And I much prefer to watch people be who they are, and no matter what circumstance.
Exactly. I came with all of those layers. And, I do represent myself as multi-layered. I have multiple identities as a woman, as a dean, as a scholar, then as a mother. But the amazing thing that you had the patience for me to, unreveal till I came to the core. And that's where the work took place, right? The core. So now if the core is strong, no matter what, jackets, coats you put on it, still the core is strong. So Unlock Your Power was a big stepping stone. Then we did the evolution. And I want to believe that the evolution was also created out of also need to go higher.
Absolutely. I describe evolution as being the ability to go beyond what we consciously get impacted by. And that was the real purpose of evolution, to just move beyond that as fast as possible.
Which we did. And then again, your work, you cannot pin it down to certain KPIs. So what I wasn't sure about when I finished the Unlock Your Power, I'm like, I'm in a better place. You have helped me to create this space within to be able to make better decisions in my life. But where's this going to take me? And then the evolution came. I was able actually to start identifying my goal, which is my identity, because your goals also contribute to who you are and your cause and your place in life. And this is where I started seeing and making decisions in my life that are shaping who I am now. Tangible results made by me, by myself. You helped me reach to that point where I can make a decision that maybe I could have not made, most probably I could have not made, 2 or 3 years before that. So that's when I saw the difference. And that's what's led us to go to the accelerator.
Accelerate. Oh, I have to share this story though. Accelerate came to me a bit randomly. I realized that I wanted to offer my clients exactly what it is I do for me, with a level of intensity that I thought would scare the hell out of everyone. But I wanted to offer it anyway. And I literally gave you the name of the program and you just said yes. And I remember saying, did you want to know what's in it? And you went, no, just sign me up. When do we start? We have done 3 Accelerate programs. 2 were full 3-month versions, and then we've done a 1-month version recently. So what was your first experience of Accelerate?
Challenges. This is the same person who told you for 3 years earlier that I don't have time to commit. So yes, the Accelerate is a shorter program, but the level of commitment is much higher than any of the 1-year programs that
Did I say intense? I did, didn't I?
It was so intense to the degree I remember that the first one was very difficult, but because I really needed it. I was at a stage of my life where certain areas that we were able to identify were not working for me. And the Accelerate focused on those areas.
And I think part of the intensity with Accelerate comes from the fact that most of the work I do is I do the work and you get to just sit and enjoy the results. But Accelerate has a slightly different component, which is you have to show up every day for you.
I was an active participant in this journey, which meant that Amal, wake up. Okay, this is your life. This is your healing journey. You have to do the work too. It was not easy at the beginning. So that program faced me and I was ready. And I know that you wouldn't accept any client for the Accelerate program unless they're ready, but I was ready because I've done all of this work with you. The first one was very, very difficult.
Yeah,
it was very fulfilling, extremely rewarding.
And then we let you have a bit of a break because of that level of intensity in that first experience. And then we did a second one.
Well, yeah, I came back saying, I want another one.
Maybe it's a bit like going on a roller coaster ride. It's scary, you scream a lot, you go, I'm never doing this again. And then you get off and you go, can I go again?
Exactly. So it's not only the thrill. But because I did see the results in my life, the second one also took it a step further. I was more composed all through it. I kind of found myself. I was able to articulate who I am better in that second Accelerate program. But I saw how, because I was getting into terms with who I am, that my circumstances changed.
Right. So instead of it being you that was struggling with, it's almost like your circumstances, then you had to face what those were.
Exactly.
What an interesting second layer.
You said it right from the beginning that maybe you don't have control over everything around you. But when change happens inside you, you will see the ripple effect. And this is exactly what happened with the second Accelerate. I changed. I was more myself. I got to know exactly what I am, who I am, how I want to be. And not necessarily all of the circumstances around me liked that. So there was change around me.
Yes, because you'd changed and you'd fundamentally changed. Then the other changes were forced, really. They just have to move because that's that ripple.
And then even those things that went up and down, and I don't want to say upheavals, but
it was a bit like all the balls got thrown up in the air and then some of them landed in different places, but it did feel like all of them landed.
And I remember you telling me, there's nothing you can do, just wait. I just had control over myself, my words, my actions. And that's what the second Accelerate program helped me do.
And then we've done another short version. Now we did this was very micro, like we got under a microscope and went, this is the one thing we're going to focus on. And we did it in a 4-week window. Watching you go through those 4 weeks was really interesting because it's the same intensity. Like I'm asking you to do the same things. But what I noticed was your intensity with yourself was more enhanced. The ability for you to embrace the intensity and the changes was so much easier. How did it feel for you with that?
I was very specific. We zoomed in, and there's this one small area, but very important area in my life that I need to focus on. So this is exactly what happened. I think because I went in the program with a very specific area in mind. Yes, it was intensive, but it was easy because I knew what I wanted to get out of it.
And you only had a really short window of time to achieve this thing as well. You kind of went from, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, to the next conversation was, I did this and I was completely me. And then what was the final bit? I'd love to hear your interpretation.
What was amazing about it, as a researcher, I start with a research question. This is what is bothering me. How can I solve this problem? This Accelerate program managed to put me not just at the right path, but I can see my way. So I have a plan and I have a roadmap and I see the results by the end of the road.
I certainly didn't show you how to write a roadmap, but I did give you that ability to move the emotions out of the way, to move your mindset. I do use the word accelerate deliberately because it does move you really quickly.
And it's not as easy as said. We know that changing people's habits is the most difficult thing for me to change my mindset to be able to achieve what I want to achieve. And this is growth. There's no divide between the person and the professional here. Once I grow personally, everything around me will flourish too.
Thank you for sharing your journey so far with all of the programs. I really love how you describe the Accelerate program in its challenges and in its outcomes, because I think that becomes really important when anyone's considering a program, not just to look at the highlights of the program. They've got to look at what's actually going to be required. And if anyone who is watching this is interested, please, the links will be below. Go and have a look at the website. Reach out to me. I'm always happy to have a chat. Have a conversation with me. Let's see what difference we can make for you.